Hey, what is up, my U.S. history people? This is Mr. Tharp. Today I'm going to walk you guys through and give you some advice and tips on how to answer roadmap questions or learning targets that we give you guys each chapter or unit here at Greenville. So today we're going to look at Unit 3, Roadmap to Success for Imperialism. So let's go down here. Here's our question. Explain the reasons why America sought to expand overseas in the late 1890s. Now we give you guys 10 PNFs. We want you to answer this question using at least these 10 words because we're basically telling you if you use these 10 words, you're going to answer this question in an amazing way. So if you can look at these words and understand this question and you can just write down a paragraph without any problem, I'm probably not talking to you. For the most part, this is directed at people who maybe have a hard time writing, who maybe have a learning disability, who just have a hard time taking what they're thinking in their head and putting it down using pencil and paper or putting it on a computer. So I'm going to give you guys a way to attack this, kind of a 1, 2, 3 guide as to how to answer these roadmap questions when you need to do them each time. So the first step 1 that we want to do is write down the PNFs and put down their definitions in your own words and how it relates to the question. So if you're not sure what to do, that's what I want to see you guys do. So before you come to me or Mr. Davis or another teacher and ask for help, write down the words, all the PNFs, and try to put down their definitions in your own words. So I gave you guys 2 examples here. For cultural superiority, I said Americans thought their culture, that should be was better than most. So it was their white man's burden to spread their culture and help out to civilize the savages. So I use quotes there because, of course, that's debatable. But the idea here is I just took that idea of cultural superiority and I didn't just look up the definition in the dictionary and cut and paste it. I explained how it was relevant to the question. Okay? So if you're just at level 1 and all you can do is write down the PNF and then the definition in your own words, that's great, okay? And I'll show you how you'll actually do fine with your grade. New markets, okay? That doesn't mean a new market going up on the street, okay, or up on the corner. Says, so I put, how does new markets relate to wanting to expand overseas? That's the question I'm asking myself, okay? America had lots of industry and farming. They needed to sell it in new places because what they produce continued to go up. So the industries and the factories are kicking out more things. Who's going to buy them? The farmers are making more produce and more food every year. Who's going to buy it? Once you conquer a country, you can force or urge them to buy your products. So as we take over Hawaii, as we take over Alaska, as we take over Puerto Rico, as we take over Cuba, those places we can now send our food and our goods there for them to buy. All right, step 2, okay? Chunk or put the words into groups. So if you're good with the definitions, you know what they mean, you can just skip to step 2. So I already did this. This was an easy question to do it to because there was 3 reasons we expanded overseas. 1, military strength. 2, cultural superiority. 3, to get new markets, okay? So now what else would go with those? Well, I said military strength would go with imperialism and Alfred T. Mahan because those are talking about the same things. Down here, cultural superiority, manifest destiny, and social Darwinism all go together, and I can talk about those in a sentence or 2 and how they relate to the question. New markets, colonies, and tariffs relate to each other. So I'm going to group those together. Now, when you do chunk them, I just kind of thought of this. I think it's good to go ahead and name what the G-PERSIA is you're going to discuss them in. So for instance, military strength, imperialism, and Alfred T. Mahan. Well, who did Alfred T. Mahan work for? He worked for the military, which was the government. So I'm going to go ahead and put this G-PERSIA down as political. Okay? Group B, cultural superiority, manifest destiny, and social Darwinism. What do you guys think? Go ahead and discuss it right now, or just think about it in your own head. So I'm thinking this is social. So as I talk about these things, I'm going to understand I'm explaining how people relate to each other and how this influenced the cause for imperialism. Okay? What about this one? So I want you guys, if you're watching at home, stop and think about it. What G-PERSIA would go here? If you're in class, think about it right now. What did you come up with? Economic, right? Okay? So now I have chunked my words into groups I know I can talk about them to answer the question. And I've also picked which G-PERSIA I'm going to kind of relate it to or talk about it or connect it with. Step 3. Take these ideas and put them into complete sentences. Now we've already picked what G-PERSIA we're going to focus on, so we really don't have to do that again. So I'm going to kind of write up an example of using this and what it would look like, and then I'm going to show it to you guys. But I think this kind of gives you guys a framework and a step-by-step, 3-step process on how to attack roadmap questions. And again, when you come and talk to Mr. Davis and myself, or Mr. Ross, or another teacher, we want to know what you have done to get started, because we get a lot of, I need help doing this, but I don't see any effort or work going into actually trying to do it. It's almost like you just want us to do it for you, which of course we're not going to do. So I hope these 3 steps help you guys get started and make the process of answering your roadmap questions a little bit easier and more understandable for you. In the next video, I'm going to show you an example of what a good, solid answer to this roadmap question should be. So if you're still wondering what would a good answer to this question look like, then just check out the next video on my channel and we'll go over and answer this question in full length and then even explain how it would look on our rubric. That's all I got for you guys today. Peace out and enjoy your week.